And now let's see who our mystery guest is this year.
Okay, we got this done. We got this done. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for attending the 15th annual reading of the Declaration. And I just want to throw in there that all the work you see here with our committee members in period dress outfits and the raffles on this table, the prize table over here, it takes a lot of work behind the scenes of coordinating, talking to people, seeing what we can get done. So I'd like to remind you is that please, on the way out, the donations, we rely on our donors and our donations from our donors that help out and keep this event going every year. So we want to thank you for that as well. My name is General Charles Cornwallis. I surrendered to George Washington at Yorktown, Virginia on October 19, 1781. Due to his inability to escape the combined African and French forces, the devastating effects on their artillery fire, and their failure of his superior, General Sir Henry Clinton, to send reinforcements, the siege had exhausted his army supplies and left them vulnerable. Cornwallis, claiming illness, sent his second-in-command, General Charles O'Hara, to formally surrender. So that's who I am today. If I can ask everyone to please stand, because we hear words every year and every time we're at a meeting, and I want to explain what those words mean now. And our favorite clown was going to tell us, our favorite clown is going to tell us what those words mean, red skeleton. So if you can please watch your monitor, he's going to tell you what the words of the Pledge of Allegiance mean. Pete?
I remember a teacher that I had. Now, I went through the 7th grade. I went to the 7th grade. And I left home when I was 10 years old because I was hungry. And this is true. I work in the summer and I go to school in the winter. But I had this one teacher. It was the principal of the Harrison School in Vincennes, Indiana. To me, this was the greatest teacher, a real sage of my time, anyhow. He had such wisdom. And we were all reciting the Pledge of Allegiance one day. And he walked over, this little old teacher, Mr. Laswell was his name. Mr. Laswell, and he says, I've been listening to you boys and girls recite the Pledge of Allegiance all semester, and it seems as though it's becoming monotonous to you. If I may I recite it and try to explain to you the meaning of each word. I, me, an individual, a committee of one, pledge, dedicate all of my worldly goods to give without self-pity, allegiance, my love and my devotion to the flag, our standard, O glory, a symbol of freedom. Wherever she waves, there's respect, because your loyalty has given her a dignity that shouts, freedom is everybody's job. United. That means that we have all come together states, individual communities that have united into 48 great states, 48 individual communities with pride and dignity and purpose, all divided with imaginary boundaries, yet united to a common purpose, and that's love for country. And to the republic, a state in which sovereign power is invested in representatives chosen by the people to govern. And government is the people, and it's from the people to the leaders, not from the leaders to the people, for which it stands. One nation, meaning so blessed by God, indivisible, incapable of being divided, with liberty, which is freedom, the right of power to live one's own life without threats, fear, or some sort of retaliation, and justice, the principle or qualities of dealing fairly with others, for all, which means, boys and girls, it's as much your country as it is mine. And now, boys and girls, let me hear you recite the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Since I was a small boy, 2 states have been added to our country, and 2 words have been added to the Pledge of Allegiance: under God. Wouldn't it be a pity if someone said that is a prayer and that would be eliminated from schools too?
If you could remain standing for just a minute, please. Never gets easy sometimes. I like to have a special moment of silence for Melissa and Mark Hortman from Minnesota. They were gunned down in their house. And the 2 firefighters from Idaho that were ambushed. So let's keep them in your prayers for a second or a couple of minutes here, folks. Thank you. Now we're going to have the national anthem by Oren, and Caitlin. Did I get that right, or I said that wrong? Okay. So please stand for just another minute. So the national anthem now, folks.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled
Excellent, excellent. Thank you. Please be seated, folks. Please be seated. Thank you. I want to stay with the agenda here, follow my agenda. So I want to introduce my committee. You saw the lady coming in the door. Her name is Joanne Buck. Cake serving is Joan and Linda Kammerling, another committee member. My vice chair is right here in period dress, Ann Thomas. So that's the committee. Thank you. I'm the chair, if anybody didn't know that, so we know. At this time, I'd like to ask if you can please silence all your electronic devices at this time. And now, after you do that, I'm going to have my vice chair come up, and she's going to give you some information that you may not know. And after her, I'm going to give you some information that you may not know. So, Ann, come on up and tell us why you're dressed like that and who you are and whatever the case may be.
Do I need?
Yeah, you want to use this one or this one? It's up to
I
you.
don't know. Is it on? Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, it's on.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, everything's on.
Okay. Today I have tried to dress up as Margaret Corbin. Now, Margaret Corbin was a woman who actually fought in the Revolutionary War. On November 16th, 1776, her husband, John Corbin, was one of 2,800 American soldiers defending Fort Washington in northern Manhattan from 8,000 attacking Hessian troops under British command. She was allowed to accompany her husband because she was a nurse for injured soldiers. Her husband was on the crew of two cannons. When he fell in action, Margaret took his place and continued to work the cannon until she too was seriously wounded. It is said that Corbin was standing next to her husband when he fell during battle. Immediately, she took his post, and because she had watched her husband, a trained artilleryman, fire the cannon so much, she was able to fire clean and aim the cannon with great ease and speed. This impressed the other soldiers and was the beginning of her military career. She later became the first woman in U.S. history to receive a pension from Congress for military service. So kudos to Margaret Corbin.
Thank you, Ann. Very nice, very good what we got to do. Pete, are you ready for the other tribute I want to do? Are you ready back there for that? Put that up. Did he hear me? Oh, okay. Folks, we had another committee member for years, and when I called her up and I asked her about being a part of this committee, she said, "Oh, Dennis, I love it." And we want to do a couple of words for our former mayor here in the city of Beacon, longest serving mayor in New York State history. And we also want to, like I said, when I called her up and asked her to be on the committee years ago, she said, Dennis, what do you want me to do? I said, well, just at the time we were getting refreshments from Dunkin' Donuts. They were helping us out with refreshments. I said, Clara Lou, just go to Dunkin' Donuts, pick the donuts up and bring them to City Hall. And every year, Dunkin' Donuts, she brought the donuts here. We laid them out for you, and everything was great. But we miss her. We know she's in a better place here, there, where she's at. And we just wanted to, say that, bring that up and show that and say that about her because, I miss her dearly. I know she's close, though, so I just wanted to say that. Thank you. Pete, thank you. So now, I'm coming to talk to you. I'm coming to see who would know something. And I'm going to ask someone just a general question that you may not know. And I researched it, and it happened. You never would have thought it would happen, but I'm going to tell you the story in a minute when I ask a question. I'm going to ask it a true or false. And we'll say true or false. Now, keep in mind, in the 1700s, 18th century, women were not allowed to join the military. They were excluded from the military. So my question to you, true or false, did a woman ever serve in the military in the 1700s? Who wants to raise their hand and just... Yes. Do you know her name? No. Okay, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you all about her. I'm going to tell you about her right now. Her name was Deborah Sampson. May 20th, 1782 to December of 1783. She cut her hair short. She had a doctor that she entrusted with her identity to keep her identity. She wrapped her body so it would look like a man. And she posed herself off as Robert Shirtliff. Shirtliff, it's got two different how the spellings or pronunciations when you look it up. But that was her brother. She used her brother's name to get in. And she got in. And let me tell you what she did, just so you know. She disguised herself as a man in the 4th Massachusetts Regiment. Like I said, she used her brother's name, Robert Shirtliff, because women were not permitted to enlist in the military. Deborah Sampson felt a strong sense of patriotism and a desire to participate in the Continental Army. She sustained multiple injuries. She sustained a sword cut on her forehead and a musket ball wound to one of her thighs near Terrytown in 1782. And the doctor, she was treated to avoid detection. So that was, and West Point retired her in 1784 with another pension that this woman received as well. So more history for you that you may not have known. So now we're going to get back to seeing what you know, seeing what we know. And it's okay, because if you don't get it right, you come up to the prize table and grab a prize. It's okay. So you get it wrong, it's whatever. All right, well, I'm going to pick you, sir. How many stars on the flag?
50.
I'll tell your son to go up and get a prize. Come on, buddy. Let me ask another one. Sir, what document begins with "We the People"? It's the Constitution. Go get a prize. Prize table. Ladies, well, let me ask you one here. What does each star represent on the flag?
Each state.
Go get a prize. Wait a minute, I'm mixing my questions here. That's okay. You can mix questions all we want. She said, give me an easy one. Okay, I'll give you an easy one. Name the 3 branches of government.
Oh, the judiciary, the Congress, and executive.
Go up to the table and get a prize. The lady all the way in the corner with the blonde, with the pretty top on there. I don't know. Who wrote the Declaration of Independence? Who wrote it? Was the majority person who wrote it? That is correct. If you can squeeze out and get a prize table, go ahead. Thomas Jefferson, she's correct. What is the most popular food eaten on July 4th?
Hot dogs?
That is correct. Get a prize. Or take a prize. Miss Molly and her kids. Here we are. True or false? Apple pie was invented in the United States. True or false?
What do you think, boys? I'll say true.
It was invented in England, 1381. Get a prize. Go, Jason. We're coming to the real history people now.
Give me an easy one.
Give me an easy one. When was the Declaration originally signed?
1780.
No, give me the date.
Oh, the date. The Declaration originally signed.
It was signed and then it was adopted.
That's all right. July 4th.
It was adopted on the 4th. It was signed on July 2nd. So, like I said, we're getting history that we may not or be aware or know. See that? Let me see. Okay, she said don't do it. What are the two traditions we do on July 4th? There's two traditions we do. Anybody know what they are? Who just said that? Fireworks and parades, that is correct. How many, how many original colonies were they, Judy?
13.
13. How many original stars on a flag were there back in the day?
I would say 13.
That is correct. 13. 13 is 26. Don't get a prize. Here's a question now that I'm going to ask that I just remembered and I want to ask you. And I didn't even know it, but I want to ask you right now. And I just learned it the other day when I was doing the research. How many times in Philadelphia on July 4th do they ring the Liberty Bell? Ha ha. Anybody want to take a stab at that? They don't. They do. They ring it 13 times on July 4th. No? Well, because it's cracked. Somebody cracked up, and they. No, I'm only kidding. The forefathers, that's all they went through. The guy in the blue shirt over here, let me see what I can ask him here. He looks, let's see. Who was the King of England during the American Revolution? He knows this one, I know he does. King George III, that is correct. If you want a prize, come on up and get one. Let me see. Okay, well, you know what? I think we're there with that. We asked enough of them. So. We're just going to go up here now, and we're going to speed this along now. I wanted to give those away as well. But. At this time, I'd like to call up our esteemed mayor to recognize any political people in the audience, or I know there's not very many. And just so you know, I spoke with Dan Armar-Blair. He called me yesterday. He's now he's a county employee. He has to be in the Hyde Park parade, so that's why he's not here. But normally, he would be at this event, attend every year at this event. So we miss him. We wish he was here, but he's got to do what he's got to do up at the Hyde Park with the county. So that's a little note for you on that. So, Mayor.
So this is easy. I see Molly Rhodes, a council member from Ward 1. She has an entourage who correctly or incorrectly answer questions and receive prizes as a result. There you go. You want me to keep going?
Thank you. No, well, that's it. I think that's it. And I want to just, nobody would know that person, but I know this person. Eric Shetter from the Beacon City School Board. Eric, just raise your hand. Thank you. Okay. like to give an award to somebody today because we like to recognize people because what they do, and we know why they do it. We're just glad they do it for whatever reason they do it for. And if you saw this person's picture in a dictionary, you would see the words next to it: dedication, commitment, honor, duty, glory, and all the words that fit that description of this person. And she happens to be my vice chair, Ann Thomas. Ann, come on up, please. When I asked her to be my vice chair after Clara Lou was homebound, she said, "Dennis, yes, I'll," and she fit right in, and I want to thank her for 10 years of service on this committee. She's a member of the DAR, Daughters of the American Revolution as well. And Ann, if you want to say a few words, please do. Thank you. We wanted to surprise you on that.
I guess you did. I just like to say thank you. It's nice to be appreciated, but also I'm very much aware that, I'm always wanting to get our youth involved. We need to get the youth of today to get involved for the sake of our country. And that's what I'm trying to do, is I hope that, in fact, I asked Dennis, next year when we read the Declaration, I'm hoping we can get a couple of maybe college students to do the reading, because I really think that that's where we should be headed. Thank you.
Thank you, Ann. What I want to do now, I wanted to do this before, but I only got two hands. What I made up was, I made up envelopes of youth, and then I made up adult. And I'm going to give these out. Now, Dennis Padlock likes to bring it in. Every one of these envelopes does not have a gift card on these envelopes. How would I get you here? So I'm going to just pass them out. They might say, oh. I'm going to give these out, and then we're ready to start the readings. We've dilly-dallied long enough, so. Guys, pick an envelope out of the youth. Pick one of those envelopes. And you pick one. Open it and let me know tell me what it says. Pick one. Pick an envelope. Open it and tell me what it says. You might get a gift card. I don't know. You might get a gift card. You might not. I don't know. Ladies, open them up. Tell me what it says. Now for the adults. Pick one. Pick one. Pick one.
No, go ahead.
No, oh, pick one. Pick one. Open it, let me know what it says. You have to read it. What does it say? They're all not, some are gift cards and some are, some say I'm a British soldier and the other ones say I'm a lobster. Because that's what they used to call the redcoats back in the day. They were called lobster backs because of their red coat. They were lobster backs. You're a lobster. She's a lobster. Anybody else is a lobster? Anybody a British soldier? He's a red coat. What are you, Judy? Yeah, I'm a lobster. Judy's a lobster too. We'll see you in the ocean later on. Oh, look out, I'm going to fall backwards. Look out. All right, now we're all caught up on that. I think we're good now with where we are. So, awards, yeah, I think we're, the end I wanted to do something. Before I do the readings, just want to ask you another question. Three people, I think there was a fourth one, but I don't know what, I just did three. Levi Coffin, I'll spell their names. I didn't tell Pete to put it up on the board, I just wrote them down just to ask you. Levi Coffin, Levi, and the word coffin. Thomas Garrett, like it sounds. William Lloyd Garrison. What do these people have? What did they do back in the day? I didn't write it. I know what they did. I didn't write it down, but I want to see if anybody knew who these people were and what they did. If anybody wants to raise your hand and take a stab at it. Yes. That is correct. They were abolitionists for the Underground Railroad. They were, majority of these people were Quakers. And they were white people, and they saved slaves. They moved slaves under the Underground Railroad. Up to 3,500 slaves, they got them out of the Underground, in the Underground Railroad to escape slavery. So, that's who those people were. Thank you, sir, I should give you something for that, sir. You look smart over there, sir. I don't even know you. I'm glad you said that because no one else knew it but me. But that is correct. So that's who they were. Let me see if I have a... Okay. We have a second round of questioning afterwards. We have some Minutemen 1776 I'm going to pass out. I'll tell you what that's about. Excuse me. I'll tell you what that's about. Matter of fact, I'm going to tell you what that's about right now, so we can do that afterwards. People can get together and go in the back, and what I can tell you, if anybody wants one, I'm only going to give out 3 or 5, and you can raise your hand. And what I thought of doing, I didn't do it last year, but I wanted to do it this year. I did it 2 years ago. Oh, now I can't find them. Did I put it in here? Yes, here they are. What I did back in 2023 was I got an idea, a suggestion from the Andy Griffith Show of all TV shows to get an idea from. And doesn't remember what the episode was, but Andy's talking to his son and some of the kids that his kids hung around with, and they didn't. And as Andy said in the episode, he said, "You don't got to know history. I went back and they told Miss Crump, that was their teacher. They said, we didn't have to, my pa said we didn't have to learn that. Well, what did he say? And he mentioned Minutemen. So I made up these, were donated by the UPS store in Fishkill. So if I give you one, you got to go in a hallway and think of something, history, and at the end, stand up and tell us what it is. So I'm only going to give out a few. If anybody wants one, you can raise your hand, or I'm just going to give it to you. I know who's getting one. She got one year. She's going to get another one. So one for you. Does anybody would like to be part of a Minuteman during this? I don't see anybody's hand. And we got one back here. She'll be a Minuteman. Anybody else wants to be a Minuteman? I'm going to give. And Mr. What is it? She wants to be a Minuteman. So also, while I'm on this topic and this subject, I wanted to say, so that's all I'm going to give out because we want to make this, we want to get to the readings before it gets too far gone. So I wanted to say this the last couple of years, this comment, but you know how you get in the moment and you just sometimes you just forget to say it. I don't know how many people think that we are a committee just about the day of July 4th. If you don't know, we are a committee, anything July 4th prior and after and what's to come. Now, I got to tell you a 2-minute story where I was back in March with some good friends that I have. My good friends call me up once in a while and they say, "Hey, Dennis, you want to go for a hike?" Dennis Pavlak, go for a hike? What? So I said, yeah. I said, "Where are you going?" They said, "We're going down to Doodletown." I said, "Huh?" "We're going down to Doodletown." I said, "Where is Doodletown?" It's above Bear Mountain, and there are trailheads, and they're marked 1777 Eastern. I didn't know about this until my friends called me up and asked me to go for a hike. And it was a community that New York State bought years ago. I don't know what year it was. They knocked down all the houses, and they have markers of who the people were in these houses. And it was very, very informative. You just got to know where to park because it's not good. It wasn't good. Anyway, I wasn't driving. Anyway, so if you get a chance to go down and explore Doodletown, please do. You're going to find it very, very informing, enlightening, and very educational, if I can say that. I'm walking on these trails, and I was actually and literally on the same trails as the British soldiers were in 1777. How much more closer to history can you get than that? So, with that said, we're going to start the reading. So, Dennis Pavlak will. I went to school for history. They got me for Babylon. Babylon, he babbles on too much. Okay, so we're going to have the mayor come up and start it off. And then our follower is going to be Emily Murnane this year. She's normally Madam Brett, but we asked her to read this year for us, and she said, "I accept," and we're glad to have her aboard. So, Mayor, anytime you're ready.
Okay. Hey, everyone. So I'm going to read the first part. Now, the Declaration is actually largely about grievances. And the bulk of these grievances, take up the bulk of the Declaration. Emily gets the grievances, right? And so, it's sort of like Festivus, right, where the airing of the grievances. That's what the Declaration is largely. Now, I'm going to give you a little bit of an entree, and then I'll read the opening section. Emily will take up the grievances, and then the closing piece. So the National Humanities Center had some commentary on the Declaration, so I just want to read that. On July 2nd, 1776, after months of deliberation and while directing battle in the colonies and in Canada, the Second Continental Congress voted to declare the United States of America separate and independent from Britain. So that was July 7th where they voted on it. The final language was approved on July 4th, written primarily by Thomas Jefferson, and that's why we celebrated on the 4th. Copies were immediately printed and distributed throughout the colonies and the Continental troops. On July 9th was the last colony to approve, which was New York, and that made it a unanimous declaration. So it wasn't unanimous on the 4th just yet. And then on August 2nd, it had been signed by most of the congressional delegates, but not all. The final signature was affixed in 1781 by the New Hampshire delegate. So let me start this up. In Congress, July 4th, 1776, the unanimous declaration of the 13 United States of America. When in the course of human events, it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and nature's God entitle them. A decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation. Those are the grievances, right, coming up. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. That whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it, and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. Prudence indeed will dictate that governments long established should not be changed for light and transient causes. And accordingly, all experience hath shown that mankind are more disposed to suffer while evils are sufferable than to right themselves by abolishing the forms to which they are accustomed. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations, usurp is to take illegally by force. So a long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing invariably the same object, evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism. It is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for their future security. Such has been the patient sufferance of these colonies, and such is now the necessity which constrains them to alter their former systems of government. The history of the present King of Great Britain is a history of repeated injuries and usurpations, all having in direct object the establishment of an absolute tyranny over these states. To prove this, let facts be submitted to a candid world. So before I hand it off for the grievances, there are 27 grievances are given. Many are in vague and or overstated language for the purpose of persuasion and dramatic intensity. All relate to Britain's increase of imperial control after the French and Indian War that ended in 1763, which ended the relative autonomy long valued by the colonies. So this is the probably the greatest no king speech you're ever going to hear. So at this point, I'll turn it over to Emily for the grievances and the closing.
Thank you, Lee. Good morning, everyone. Here is the grievances. He has refused his assent to laws, the most wholesome and necessary for the public good. He has forbidden his governors to pass laws of immediate and pressing importance unless suspended in their operation till his assent should be obtained, and when so suspended he has utterly neglected to attend to them. He has refused to pass other laws for the accommodation of large districts of people unless those people would relinquish the right of representation in the legislature, a right inestimable to them and formidable to tyrants only. He has called together legislative bodies at places unusual, uncomfortable, and distant from the depository of their public records for the sole purpose of fatiguing them into compliance with his measures. He has dissolved representative houses repeatedly for opposing with manly firmness his invasions on the rights of the people. He has refused for a long time after such dissolutions to cause others to be elected, whereby the legislative powers incapable of annihilation have returned to the people at large for their exercise, the state remaining in the meantime exposed to all the dangers of invasion from without and convulsions within. He has endeavored to prevent the population of these states for that purpose obstructing the laws for naturalization of foreigners, refusing to pass others to encourage their migrations hither, and raising the conditions of new appropriations of lands. He has obstructed the administration of justice by refusing his assent to laws for establishing judiciary powers. He has made judges dependent on his will alone for the tenure of their offices and the amount and payment of their salaries. He has erected a multitude of new offices and sent hither swarms of officers to harass our people and eat out their substance. He has kept among us in times of peace standing armies without the consent of our legislatures. He has effected to render the military independent of and superior to the civil power. He has combined with others to subject us to a jurisdiction foreign to our Constitution and unacknowledged by our laws, giving his assent to their acts of pretended legislation, for quartering large bodies of armed troops among us, for protecting them by a mock trial from punishment for any murders which they should commit on the inhabitants of these states, for cutting off our trade with all parts of the world, for imposing taxes on us without our consent, for depriving us in many cases of the benefits of trial by jury, for transporting us beyond seas to be tried for pretended offenses, for abolishing the free system of English laws in a neighboring province, establishing therein an arbitrary government and enlarging its boundaries so as to render it at once an example and fit instrument for introducing the same absolute rule into these colonies, for taking away our charters, abolishing our most valuable laws, and altering fundamentally the forms of our governments, for suspending our own legislatures and declaring themselves invested with power to legislate for us in all cases whatsoever. He has abdicated government here by declaring us out of his protection and waging war against us. He has plundered our seas, ravaged our coasts, burnt our towns, and destroyed the lives of our people. He is, at this time, transporting large armies of foreign mercenaries to complete the works of death, desolation, and tyranny, already begun with circumstances of cruelty and perfidy scarcely paralleled in the most barbarous ages, and totally unworthy the head of a civilized nation. He has constrained our fellow citizens, taken captive on the high seas to bear arms against their country, to become the executioners of their friends and brethren, or to fall themselves by their hands. He has excited domestic insurrections amongst us, and has endeavored to bring on the inhabitants of our frontiers the merciless Indian savages, whose known rule of warfare is an undistinguished destruction of all ages, sexes, and conditions. In every stage of these operations, we have petitioned for redress in the most humble terms. Our repeated petitions have been answered only by repeated injury. A prince whose character is thus marked by every act which may define a tyrant is unfit to be the ruler of a free people. Nor have we been wanting in our attentions to our British brethren. We have warned them from time to time of attempts by their legislature to extend an unwarrantable jurisdiction over us. We have reminded them of the circumstances of our emigration and settlement here. We have appealed to their native justice and magnanimity, and we have conjured them by the ties of our common kindred to disavow these usurpations which would inevitably interrupt our connections and correspondence. They too have been deaf to the voice of justice and consequent. Oh, goodness, I was doing great there. Justice and consequentity. We must therefore acquiesce in the necessity which denounces our separation and hold them as we hold the rest of mankind, enemies in war, in peace, friends. We, therefore, the representatives of the United States of America in General Congress assembled, appealing to the Supreme Judge of the world for the rectitude of our intentions, do, in the name and by authority of the good people of these colonies, solemnly publish and declare that these united colonies are, and of right ought to be, free and independent states, that they are absolved from all allegiance to the British Crown, and that all political connection between them and the state of Great Britain is and ought to be totally dissolved, and that as free and independent states, they have full power to levy war, conduct peace, contract alliances, establish commerce, and to do all other acts and things which independent states may of right do. And for the support of this declaration, with a firm reliance on the protection of divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor.
How about a round of applause for the readers, ladies and gentlemen? Okay, what I want to tell you now before we have the refreshments is, on the way out, please clean off this prize table. Just please, I'm not taking nothing home. I had this in my car for 2 weeks, and these just were today. We're going to raffle these off now. We got the 50-50. It's going to be about $40 to the winner. So take out your red tickets, and we're going to call that now. Red tickets, I think it's $38. This is just, I got to call this right, just so. All right, this is $38 to the winner for the 50-50. We have some more trick envelopes, but the first round of that, they were less winners, and now the second and third round, you have a better of a chance to win something, and you won't be a lobster or a British soldier. How about that? So the winner is Charles Walt's got to put his glasses on. Here it is. 259. Are we good? 2594912. Who's got it? Last four, 4912. And we got a hand raised right here. Sharon, $38 goes to the lady right here. Raise your hand, Karen. Raise your hand right there. $38 to the winner. All right, we got that done with. Let me see. This is the second round. And this is the third round. Second and third round. All right, let's see. We're going to try to give one who did not. Raise your hand if you didn't get at the first round of a white envelope. I'm going to just want to see. All right. So we're going to do. Pick an envelope. Yep. Okay. You're still a lobster? Still a lobster. We're just checking. We got to make sure you're still a lobster. We want to. Who did not get a white envelope yet? Okay. Sir, can you meet me halfway? I'm not an octopus. I can't reach you.
You are just a lobster.
Pick an envelope.
Yeah. Take me to one for you. Yeah.
Pick one.
Okay. I thought.
Who else? Pick one. Holy Jesus. All right, I got it. Don't worry about it. I got it. Anybody else? Oh, these are the youth. All right, we're back to the youth now. Maybe you can try it again. You want to try for a white, pick one. Okay. If you can pick one. We got one left for an adult. Who would like to have the, well, we got a hand over here. Let's see if what he's going to get on it. Let's see. Open it up and tell us what it said. Okay. All right, we're back to the youth now. We're back to the youth. Wait a minute. I got one more adult envelope. What are we going to, who? And now I'm going to give you a little bit of a knowledge about these white envelopes, what I did. If you look in the bottom right-hand corner, you're going to see an R or an F. That means it was a real gift card or a fake. That's how I knew. So I knew what you were getting. The bottom right-hand corner said an R or an F. And the gas card he got. All right, these are, oh, I shouldn't have said that. I got more. Oh, now everybody's going to know everybody's going to know. Oh, Charles Cornwallis is real dumb, wasn't he, saying that before I gave the rest of them away, didn't I? Well, you can't look at that. Yeah, you can't see what I said. Pick one. Pick one. See, it doesn't say anything on the envelope. Come on. He got one last time. He gets one. I don't know what that says. I have no idea what that is. What a dummy. What a dummy Charles Cornwallis is. Come on, little man. Pick one. Here, take that one. Ladies, what'd you get? What are you? What? Yeah, but what did it say? You're a red coat. She's a red coat. And you are what?
A lobster.
She's a lobster too, so you can have a lobster party after. Unbelievable. We're getting everybody. Back to the youth. All right, ladies. I got. What? What did you get?
Clara Lou's coffee.
Clara Lou's coffee. Okay, I don't know what that means, but okay. Oh, Dunkin' Donuts. I didn't know that. All right, ladies, pick one. Well, you guys can't look at it, but pick one. Pick one. I got to give 5 more away. Come on. Who do we have over here? Yeah. Pick one, hon. I got 5. I don't know. That was Bright saying something before I gave them all out, huh? Duh. Charles Cornwallis is really a goofball. Pick one. It's a youth, but I don't just want to give it out.
Okay, it doesn't matter. All right.
Anybody else? I got 3 left. let's see what he's got.
They gave me a lobster last time.
Oh, no, you already got one. I want to do,
Gave
I
me
want
a
to,
lobster.
who? Give it to him, he's back there. All right, now we're going to do these. These are your blue tickets. These are your blue tickets. Thank you. These are your blue tickets. Please, before you get a piece of cake, attack the prize table and make that stuff disappear. Thank you. That'd be a real big help. All right, if you're got a Minuteman tag, you can go out there or say it, get it on your phone right now, and you can say it when I say, after these raffles go off, I'll see who were the Minutemen, people who got a Minuteman tag, and we're going to hear your history comment from you. All right, the first number up for one of these beautiful bouquets. By the way, these came from Price Chopper. They were not donated, just so you know. So this is one of our, this is where I'm saying your donors and we rely on your donors to keep this going, and we can do this every year like this, even bigger next year, because it's America's 250th. So, with that said, the first one up, 360-2522. Who's got it? Come on up. Come on up. No, you can keep that. Okay, keep it. That's all right. Makes sense to put them over here, right? All right, the next one. 360-2514. Who's that one? Come on up. You can keep that, thank you. Yep. Absolutely. Another one. By the way,
So that way they don't have to get up.
oh, yeah, hold on. Our Ann and Emily is going to pass them out, so you don't got to get up and come over and what do you want to do? All right, the other one is, well, you know what I want to give these away first. I want to do that first and pile first, or it doesn't matter, but I just want to give that out first, so we can get. All right, the other next one is 360-2516, 2516. Who's that? It's her again. All right, hold on. We're gonna keep moving here. 360-2520. Come on up. All right, here we go. Another one. 360-2518. Who's got it? Last four, 2518. And we get one there for Lucinda. We're back. 360-2532. Who's got it? 2532. Here we go. And it's the lobster lady. All right, we got another one going off here. The last four, 2529. Who's that one? 2529. Who is it? She'll get another one. Here they are. Again, the last four. 2528. Who's got it? 2528. Oh, it's the lobster lady again. You know what I was going to tell. You know what I was going to tell the people that they had to do. I was going to bring a red towel, put over your shoulders, and you go, "I'm a lobster. I'm a lobster. I'm a lobster." But I said no. The last four, 2521. And she'll win it. All right, we're getting closer. Last four, 2519, 2519. 2519, I got to see a hand. We got a hand going around. What do we got? 2519. And we got one right there. Now it's for the lobster ladies who know. They might need flowers when they go into the ocean. And the ocean to lobster around. Who knows? What do I know? Another one. The last four. 2525. 2525. Who would that be? The lady right there, Emily, right behind you, hon. And these came from Stop and Shop, right across the street where I live in High Park. Here's the last four, 2535. What do we got? Who's got it? Bernie Dillon, we got one right there for the big Bernie. One year I did raffles. I don't know how many years, 2 years ago. Everyone I called, Bernie Dillon stood up. I got it. What in God's name? What did he do? Buy all of them? He kept doing this all day. What? What's going on? I was like, what? Bernie, did you buy the whole rack? The whole roll? What? All right, the last four. 2526. What do we got? Who's got it? 2526, the last four. 2526. Somebody's got to have it. No? She got it. 2526, she's got it. All right, we only down to a few more. 2523, you got that one too? 2523, you have to have that, you'd have that one too. No, she's got it behind you, Emily. Okay, here's some more. Grab some more of these, and we're done with the giveaways. All right, the last four. I want to say, is this lady about to win another one? I don't know. I don't know how your numbers go. So I don't know how her numbers go. 2527. It's the lobster lady again. Lobster lady, you're buying the guy that runs the show flowers? Nice. You're trying to get on my good side, are you? Here's another one. Let's go. Ready? 2530. 2530. Who's got that one? It's the lobster lady. She's cleaning up. She came here. She's cleaning up. All right, here we go. Ready? You got two more. 2536. Someone's got to have it. No. 2536. Oh, wait a minute. Well, who's raised it? I don't see a hand. I got to see somebody here. Bernie Dillon. I know where he lives. All right, we're down to the last one. Here it is. 2515. And it's the lady in the corner, right in the back. Nice. All right, folks, so we're going to have refreshments now, but before you hit the refreshment table, and by the way, somebody wanted this cake lady's phone number. If you want her number, come and see me. I'll give it to you. You can put it right in your phone. She's a professional caterer. She caters events for the city of Beacon and the school district. She's very good at what she does. Please come up here and take a prize off the prize table before you leave. And thank you, everybody, for coming. Oh, wait a minute. Wait. We have to do the Minutemen of 1776. How many cards were given out? Go ahead, stand up, ma'am, and tell us your history. Hold on.
2 quick facts and then colonial tourism. Betsy Ross sewed the flag. Paul Revere rode at night from Lexington to Concord shouting, "The British are coming, the British are coming." And
Who was the other one that did the female version of that?
there you go. And then I wanted people to know, in case you don't know, that there were a lot of battles that were actually fought in Manhattan. In Washington Heights, there was a battle. In Columbia University, where it is now, there was a battle. And you can visit Hamilton's house if you haven't in Washington Heights. It's beautiful, and they do tours. And I think he started the first bank, right? I'm not sure. And also in Inwood, further north in Manhattan, is a colonial farmhouse, if you haven't been. And one of the things that's most fascinating is there was a Hessian encampment near, and there's a Hessian hut in the back. And then you can reward yourself with lunch. It's a Dominican neighborhood. The food is delicious. So there you go.
Thank you. Okay, well, let's listen to this gentleman's Minuteman of 1776. Let's see what he's got to say with his history comment. Mr. Smart Guy, let's go. Come on.
Okay, so we heard about usurpations of rights, including trial by jury. So here, what I want to mention is that the defense lawyer for the British soldiers after the Boston Massacre was John Adams. And no one was willing to take the case. He was a known patriot. He did it for free. He lost some friends, and people were worried they weren't going to get a fair trial, but they did. 6 of the 8 were acquitted.
Thank you for that. I hope you see you back next year. Very good. Hope you see you back next year, ladies. Okay, how many did I give out? 3 of these, or did I give out 3? I didn't mean to pick you last. Well, hold on, one more. Okay, come on. She said, go ahead. Give me that. I need this.
Okay, Beacon trivia. You might know this if you've ever stood in line at the clerk's window. Beacon trivia. What beacon icon is represented on the state of New York flag?
Thank you very much. Okay, and we saved the best for last.
I have another piece of modern Beacon trivia. The Minutemen, the original Minutemen, were considered citizen soldiers, and they left their plows in the field at a minute's call to defend the colonies. Today's Minutemen are the National Guard. The Minutemen were the origin of the National Guard. And here at Talik's Art Foundry, Minuteman, the sculpture outside the National Guard headquarters in Arlington, Virginia, was cast. And the gentleman who helped them to do the costume with historical accuracy was the costumer for the film The Patriot with Mel Gibson. Whoa! Because there were no zippers, no buttons, the costumes and what the Minutemen carried and how their clothes were fastened and things like that were historically accurate on the statue.
Wow. And this is why I like doing this every year, because we want to keep us going, not only with your donations and your coming here, showing up every year, but we want to involve you and make you part of the process. We don't want you to just sit there like this and just listen. And next year we're going to have a handout for the book to follow along with you can keep the book for next year. There's going to be a handout. We already got them. We're going to hand them out next year for the 250th, so you know, so you can follow along that. We just didn't do it this year because We don't want to give everything away at once. So please don't forget to attack the prize table. I got to have that cleaned off. So don't go crazy. Leave some for somebody else if they want to take something. And then, so thank you for coming, and eat cake and cupcakes and enjoy yourself the rest of the day. Thank you. Thank you. Also, thank you to Video Ventures who's taped this and whatever. So thank you.
Before you have cake, can we have a round of applause for Dennis Pavlock, please? Yes, thank you very much. Now enjoy the cake.